A very good evening and welcome to UBC News Tonight, today on the 11th of March 2023 with me, Sharon Kyomugisha. In UBC News Tonight, coming up, President Yoweri Museveni is in Algeria to address a business forum. Alupo urges Kanungu women to embrace parish development model. Still to come, Minister Kabyanga promises to support Ngeya Radio. And lastly, now sports news, General Muhoozi donates to Makerere School of Gender Studies. Good evening once again and welcome to UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Kyomugisha, at exactly 4 minutes past 10 p.m. In our top stories of the day, President Yoweri Museveni is in the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria for a 3-day state visit at the invitation of His Excellency Tebboune, the President of Algeria. During the state visit, President Museveni and his host will witness the signing of a number of memorandums of understanding between various sectors from the two countries. The heads of state will also attend the first ever business forum between Algeria and Uganda in Algiers. Uganda and Algeria enjoy warm and fraternal bilateral relations. The two countries have strong regional, continental, international cooperation, especially through regional and international organizations such as African Union, the African Continental Free Trade Area, and the United Nations.
Thank you.
That was President Yoweri Museveni in Algeria for a 3-day state visit at the invitation of President of Algeria, Tebboune. Moving on from that, the Vice President, Major Jessica Alupo, has called upon women in Kanungu district to embrace the ongoing parish development model aimed at delivering socio-economic transformation to all communities in Uganda. She made the call during Kanungu district belated International Women's Day celebrations held under the theme Digital All Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality. We have details on the story.
I am only very glad that God has made it possible for me to be here physically to witness this very colorful ceremony and a blessing from God in form of rain. But we have all been waiting for rain. We welcomed it even when the hailstorms came, and we are still here to respect our Women's Day. You are all witnesses that the NRM government has over the years continued empowering the girl child and women. And we women are now examples and role models to you to physically appreciate how far the NRM government has come in light of giving the environment which is conducive to the girl child and the women of Uganda to productively participate in the transformation process of our country. Others may wish to clearly single out that the NRM government, President Museveni, and the leadership of NRM has empowered women in leadership positions. And that's why you can see the one speaking here is a woman and a vice president. And I feel that when I come here and interact with the children of Kanungu, specifically girl children, they get the inspiration and they get the motivation to work harder because they have seen a role model, they have seen a mentor who is like them. And that's why I was very happy that when I arrived, I was taken to Makiro Girls School, and I was able to say a few things to the girl children there. On this day of Women's Day in Kanungu, we would like to humbly thank him and all the NRM leaders, including the men, who have been supporting His Excellency the President in the promotion of affirmative action. We thank you very sincerely. Let me take this opportunity to thank all of you, the men, and also His Excellency the President, for supporting us. Because we cannot work alone, but when we work together, we work better, we work faster, and most importantly, we work effectively. Finally, patience. The way you reminded me to come here, and now coming here and getting a lot of rain, and speaking with a lot of water in front of me, which I have never done. I would like to announce that on the school which you took me, in Makiro Girls School, my contribution will be 25 million. This Women's Day to her in Kanungu here and today is for the promotion of the education of the girl child. And she chose that school. And then it helps the school to support the establishment of a multipurpose hall, which the headmistress of the school, when we visited there, that's what we are, how we delayed, took us through that multipurpose hall will help Makiro Girls School to conduct examination, national examination. It will help them also to have meetings, big meetings. And it will help them also to have entertainments or even assemblies when there is harsh weather. I call upon men to respect women and avoid gender-based violence. And I call upon women also to respect men and avoid gender-based violence. Because a peaceful home, a peaceful family, which is a basic unit of society, is a seedbed for the young ones who grow up and go into the world. And what they see in the family is what they take to the world. So let's preserve our cultural values. Let's exercise restraints and ensure that all of us are peaceful in our families.
Now let's go back to Egypt briefly and witness trophy hoisting by the Senegalese that have written African history with the 4th continental crown after edging Gambia 2-0 the AFCON Under-20 final.
So they made an impression in 2019 when Amadou Sagna with the fastest goal in the championship, 9.6 seconds against Tahiti. They want to go deep in the competition. But for now, they can celebrate becoming the under-20 AFCON champions. Senegal looking forward.
Superbe parcours pour les Lions.
An opportunity to improve
Ils ont débarqué en Égypte.
their best performance back in 2015 when they came fourth.
d'Afrique 2022, sacré
Serbia became world champions.
Now, l'équipe qui remporte donc ce titre
Augustin
de
Senghor
champion d'Afrique des
there on
moins
hand
20
as Samba Diallo prepares for the biggest moment in his young career. The Dynamo Kiev forward almost scored an outrageous goal at the end. He didn't get a goal for his efforts, but he's got what really matters. And now, the build-up. It's Senegal, who are under 20 African champions for the first time. As the Lions of Teranga continue to dominate in CAF football competitions across the continent, across the age groups, and across grass and sand. But it's Malik Daf's under-20 side that have their moment in the spotlight here in Cairo.
Well, you can't help it but keep smiling, and congratulations to Senegal for that big win, AFCON under-20 final. Moving on from that, President Yoweri Museveni has advised a three-pronged approach to tackle Uganda's education conundrum. Represented by the State Minister in the Office of the Vice President at centennial celebrations of St. Teresa Gayaza School Primary School, the President highlighted discipline, career, guidance and sciences.
It's been a splendid occasion as St. Teresa Girls Primary School Gayaza celebrated 100 years of existence.
I feel like, wow, we are very grateful to God because He has assisted us to celebrate this centenary. We are so grateful to Him.
A church service full of verbal decorum by Papa Nuncio Emeritus Archbishop Augustine Kasujja started proceedings.
For human information, a Catholic school like this one is a center of evangelization. St. Teresa Girls Primary School has correctly responded to that Christian mission.
In a message conveyed by the State Minister in the Vice President's office, President Yoweri Museveni advised discipline, career guidance and sciences for Uganda's education to thrive.
Education is more than just training the minds of the students or pupils. Holistic education involves imparting the right skills, attitude, principles that will transform the pupils or students into productive and disciplined members of society. Discipline is important in life because it helps you to remain focused on your personal goals. It is the responsibility of the parents and teachers to guide the children on how to make correct career decisions. For example, few students are choosing science and ICT related subjects. In order to meet the growing demand of scientists, e.g. engineers, doctors, science teachers, nurses, etc., it is important to encourage learners to choose science subjects.
Diana Mtasingwa also delivered the President's 20 million shillings. The function on the theme of celebrating 100 years of service and raising a holistic child attracted several guests, including all students, that are reminisced about the good old days that shaped them.
You pray the morning prayers, Ekisinde Kyokumakya. Then the morning activities begin, going to bathe, housework, all that. Then by 7 a.m. you are in class. But if you're P7 members, by 6 you are in class, and the school routine goes on. It was fun.
When I made friends, some of which are still my friends today, and it also gave me a competitive spirit. It was in this school that I got the grades to proceed to a good secondary school that made me who I am now.
The school is Catholic, founded by the daughters of Mary Banabikira of Bwanda, and is proud of its longest-serving teacher, Harriet Nankabirwa, who has spent 40 of her 62 years teaching English.
It has been interesting, and I have enjoyed my stay here.
Over the years, successes like increased intake at the school originally for girls only has caused challenges of housing infrastructure that Wakiso District Chairperson Matial Wangabwanika has promised to address with a self-contained staff quarters for 4 teachers next financial year. By the time we left, merrymaking, including dance and cake cutting, had just started.
Moving on from that, State Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga, has pledged to connect Ngeya listeners group to government programs that eradicate poverty. Kabyanga said that government will procure a new transmitter to boost the coverage of UBC Ngeya to cover the whole district, as reported by Mutawali Moses.
Ngeya Radio, which is part of UBC network, has marked 10 years. State Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga, officiated the event that was held at Renzori Square in Kasese Municipality. The manager UBC Radios, Doreen Ndezi, hailed the listeners for their untiring efforts of listening to a state radio. Ndezi indicated and commended UBC for fostering government programs like Parish Development Model and Emioga. She also described the event as the biggest since the establishment of UBC in the country.
We've been at the forefront of promoting the 4-acre model as the president promotes. So basically our programming on health, on nutrition, on all sectors of development. I wouldn't say that we are more to this side or that side, but we tend to balance to make sure that each person, and I think that's why with the knowledge our listeners have picked from us, they have been told, most of them, it's not just listeners groups. They are engaged in income, in enterprises. Some are in farming, some are in catering. They are not just listeners, but they come together for the development. And all that, they've picked it from our stations.
Mary Gay, the station manager, Ngeya FM Radio Kasese, noted that the formation of Ngeya listener clubs in different areas of the district has improved their livelihoods through different programs.
Actually, there are 23 groups so far, fully registered. Then all those 23 groups have savings and credit schemes. And the savings and credit schemes are not a joke because they have very big amounts of savings. One of these groups has already an operating health center, that is Mahango Listeners Cluster. Having realized that they don't have a health center in their community, they decided to establish a health center in Mahango. It also has land where they intend to construct an office, and they have intentions of upgrading to a cooperative. Then all these other groups have catering services. Some of them have piggery projects, others have goats. And these goats are not as in something like they're having a farm, no. They buy goats for a group. So when that goat gets a kid, you give it to another listener.
The woman MP for Kasese District, Kabuhugo Florence, appreciated the work of Ngeya Radio as far as government programs are concerned.
Thank government for giving us this branch, UBC Ngeya in Kasese District. It is a radio station that has given employment to my people in the district and changed the lives of our people. But Ngeya Radio is still covering a very small area in the district. I appeal to government to ensure that they give us a booster, they give us a bigger transmitter that can enable the radio to cover the entire district or even the region, so that we can get much more income. That will mean employment will be, we shall get much more numbers being employed by the radio, and also passing developmental programs to the people for the betterment of their living.
Minister Kabyanga assured the congregation that government will do what it can to procure transmitters to boost the coverage of the radio.
Because we want this radio to even cover areas of Bunyangabo, Kabarole and Rubirizi, and not necessarily Kasese. And then probably some few areas in Eastern Congo. Because when we are sending message of peace, we want it even to reach as far as Eastern Congo.
In more UBC News tonight, the Principal Health Tutors College Mulago, Dr. Karen Carol Dratari Aikoboa, has disclosed that once clinical and health instructors register with the Ministry of Education and Sports, health service will be improved. All these were at Mulago Guest House during Mayor Uganda General Assembly and electing of the association new leadership for a 3-year period. Robert reports.
Medical Educationists Association Uganda members have expressed concern over improper conduct by health tutors in private hospitals. Medical Educationists Association Uganda is an organization which regulates activities of clinical and health tutors. They want private hospitals to pay better wages and stop hiring untrained health tutors, which is jeopardizing quality health service delivery.
We have more of private training institution than the government training institution. The biggest challenge we have today, one, is they are training hospitals. And most of the trainers, of the owners, are businessmen. They prefer profit to quality. So people who are training, they lack experience, and also they lack the skills of teaching, and also giving clinical skills. So we feel in order to enhance the quality of the trainers, we must enhance the quality of tutors.
This was during the election of the new governing board of Medical Educationists Association Uganda at Mulago Guest House, during which Aaron Namasa was reinstated Medical Educationists Association Uganda chairperson for another 3-year term.
We are really calling upon directors of private health training institutions to improve the welfare of health tutors, to pay them well, to pay them in a way that commensurates with what the counterparts in the public health training institutions are doing. And all the time we do the same work, we do everything the same, and they really deserve to be paid well.
While officiating the association's annual General Assembly of Clinical and Health Instructors, the Principal Health Tutors College Mulago, Dr. Karen Carol Dratari Aikoboa, asked health tutors to register with Ministry of Education and Sports for suitable specialist care.
TIMIS registration helps the ministry to know the number of tutors who are out there. And that registration also helps us to follow up the people who have trained and have fully registered and they are on board. If the government would consider registering them up and recruiting them, it will be an advantage for the health training institutions.
Medical Educationists Association Uganda leadership, however, applauded government for recognizing the works and improving quality service to public health tutors with rational remuneration package in the sector. Sandra Kahunde, Robert Boita, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Sandra Kahunde and Robert, for the story. In more news, the leader of Faith of Unity Omukama, Ruhanga Owoshozi Wisaka, has visited his ancestral home in Kitoma Kiboizi Trading Center in Matale Sub-County, Chibare District. His mission was to disseminate the words of oneness and unity among people. Details follow.
Omukama Ruhanga w'obusobozi Bisaka was born on 11th June 1930 at Kitoma, Kiboize, Kibale district, where his father Petro Byombi had been posted as a Catholic Church catechist. In 1966, Obusobozi began composing Catholic Church mass hymns in Runyoro and Rutoro and wrote a book on holy matrimony.
Nobuhakora bahemya kingaha abantu bagamba nitukakasa ku kibiri byenga nikyo nkebya Yesu manya Nazaresi manya Bethlehem manya kazarwa na bitano baitu mwaka titukukenga kurungi manya ezarwa musangi ebyo kuganika aba preacher yahandikira kimwe mu kitabu kino kandi kirabire Makerere University tikiri kiyenga nikyo kitabu kyonyini kikire yasayiningaho Omukama Ruhanga w'obusobozi Bisaka, the founder of the Itambiro Omukama Ruhanga wa Maigone Edobomu.
Then Obusobozi started healing people and proceeded with the work of saving them from diseases and witchcraft, among others, at the Faith of Unity KPM headquarters. His work was, however, limited by other religious leaders and some government and security officials. He was only saved in the 1990s when President Yoweri Museveni gave liberty to his faith, authorizing Obusobozi Bisaka to show people the good news of oneness. It's now 43 years since the faith began, and it has 35 dioceses of Obukwenda with over 4,000 healing centers. On his return to his place of birth, Obusobozi Bisaka exhibited the faith's calendar that guides them in developmental ideas, hence calling upon believers to work hard for steady progress.
Government ya kibaliramu yatusanga ngo eno kalenda biyehireho kalendeza izire na Bible yibeta Gregorian kalenda oba ya West kalenda baja kubara mu kalendeza agira ahenze na Bible zikaleta obuna kwa mu Africa toikara tuli banako tutamanyire habwaki Africa tuli banako kyonga eri kintu kimu hadiye cye cyamani ikibeta kalenda omuntu kakuba kusaraho buyi akagamba toija kora ikibani kimanyisa.
Obusobozi Ruhanga confirmed more than 2,600 believers, with more healing centers to be opened for quick access to believers across the country. Local leaders in Kibale district, led by the district chairperson Godfrey Muwonge, commended Obusobozi and promised to work closely to develop his ancestral home into a tourism center.
This is a tourist area. Itukweta yubakweta site ya kunu. Kinu kijja kuba kya buhangwa kya kuteka hebyo burambuzi.
During the visit, 227 new believers entered into the faith of unity to share on the benefits of oneness.
In the efforts of fighting the increasing vices against the cultural norms, Ugandans and the Ugandan North American Association have promised respect and emphasized the African culture norms not to support vices of homosexuality. The Ugandan-born living in the USA who is in the country, Patrick Ogwang, says they will emphasize and respect the African culture and Uganda at large, not to promote practices against the culture and religion at large.
Ugandan North American Association members have promised to continue respecting Ugandan cultural norms. A Ugandan raised in the US, Patrick Ogwang, who is in the country, encouraged parents to protect their children from accessing social media platforms that negatively impact African cultural norms and religion. This was during the familiarization tour of schools like Kide Primary School, Kasangati, in Makiso district.
African culture does not promote homosexuality. You know, the African culture is homosexuality is looked at as a taboo, and we need to be able to listen to the African, what the African is saying about it. And that's where leadership comes in. I think the Western culture, if that's okay for them, they can do that. But in Africa, it's different. You know, we do not promote homosexuality in Africa, and that's my stand. And I believe that.
Ogwang promised that UNA will continue to emphasize working with government in uplifting communities, empowering them financially and socially, and engage them also in good businesses for social and economic development. An official from Vision Africa, Vincent Businje, says the organization is mainly aimed at supporting the underprivileged learners by paying their tuition. At least 8,000 pupils of Chide Primary School have benefited from this generosity.
We know you don't have, but
at least you can do something. If you think you cannot do something, just think of this. That Vision of Africa never came to help you and your child had to go to school. What would have happened?
The proprietor Chide Primary School, Seninde, cautioned the stakeholders in schools against working with organizations promising for support, whereas they have their own interests, especially this challenging period of homosexuality in schools. I'm Nafka Farida and Salongo Kasbante.
Ugandans operating businesses in South Africa and Uganda have expressed hope of getting market for their products. This follows the visit by the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Now, the investors, led by Philip Kakuru, the Director of Rostec Colleges in South Africa, said this is going to help improve business between Uganda and South Africa. Wycliffe and Farida report.
The Presidential Advisor on Special Duties, Audrey Krabogo, has urged Ugandan investors in South Africa to be patriotic. In a meeting held in the town of Pretoria, he advised Ugandans to concentrate on things that will benefit them in the future, emphasizing that Ugandan government is to ensure that it supports Ugandans in the diaspora.
When shall we bring a significant level of organization on how you structure your finances, how you recruit, how you train, how you do critique publicly, how you make a foundry of leaders, how you really demonstrate that it's not about power. It's about production of heads and food.
The proprietor of Rostec Colleges in South Africa, Philip Kakuru, who employs over 300 staff, including Ugandans and people from South Africa, participated in the meeting. He says they are to ensure that unemployed Ugandans living in South Africa get markets in which they sell Ugandan food as a way of contributing to their household income.
Ugandan farmers to be able to sell goods in South Africa. And the first market is the Ugandans who live here. For instance, if we say, can Uganda set up through microfinance or support a market for Ugandan produce in Johannesburg, where there are about more than 100,000 people?
Kakuru disclosed that Ugandans working in the education sector in South Africa plan to return home to invest in their country.
One, to have serious inflows of capital in Uganda in terms of investment. So Ugandans should brace themselves to partner with the South Africans and South African companies in boosting trade, tourism and investment.
Alex Kanuga operates different shops selling auto spare parts in South Africa, says this has helped to improve the relationship between Ugandans and people of South Africa. He emphasizes that they are to use the opportunity to continue getting market in South Africa and remit the money back home.
That's where we turn the contacts we got in the summit into contracts. Once contacts have been turned into contracts, money will start flowing. The more money that goes into our country, the more jobs. Also, our businesses here, our businesses employ a lot of people. So the more businesses that we do, the more conducive environment we get, the more people will employ. We do employ South Africans, we do employ Ugandans.
I'm Nafka Farida and Wycliffe Mudaji.
Kabale District Health officials have disclosed that the number of people living with HIV and AIDS virus are increasing annually, which has crippled development in communities. This was during the stakeholders meeting with the Minister of State for Industry, who is also the chairperson NRM Kabale District, David Bahati. Watch.
The meetings were held at Kitoma Church of Uganda, Rubaya Sub-County and Yakaramira Town Council Hall, Ndora West, Kabale District. According to the district health educator, Dr. Alfred Besigensi explained that the rise of commercial sex workers and homosexuals are attributed to increase in commercial sex.
Last year it was 1.6% and now it has gone to 1.8, meaning that the cases are really going up.
Olive Chomukama, An HIV patient said that she has teamed up with other members to reach out to people living with HIV to fight stigma. Kyomugisha says that addressing root causes may reduce the stigma experienced by people living with HIV/AIDS, more especially the young generation, thus calling upon the government to give support to people living with HIV.
Shaba government etuho buyambi kitwabara turana akakoko kugira nitwe tubone nko kutwaba ahubwo kuba titino buyambi bwono baratuhereza.
The State Minister of Industry and Member of Parliament Ndora West Kabale District, David Bahati, said medicine sustains longer lifespan for people living with HIV. Bahati added that government spends $400 million annually towards containment of HIV, but further said that they will amplify sensitization avenues to end the virus.
The strategy is we must end it, and ending it is for people to stop doing what they know will make them contract HIV/AIDS. So it's going to be sensitization, especially with young people, the adolescents who now think that because there is medication to prolong life, maybe it shouldn't be a bigger problem. So we are going to continue the message, and as you know, His Excellency the President, we have a strategy in place of testing and leading positively, and at the same time abstaining. So that message must continue.
Rural women hailing from Lira district have warned the female members of parliament never to try voting in favor of homosexuality, a behavior they say bears no fruit and punishable by God. This much during the district women's celebration marked in a rural sub-county with a call to women to be submissive to avoid domestic violence.
Young or old, they all came. Abled and disabled women gathered at the rural sub-county of Itek in Lira district to celebrate their contribution and reflect on the journey of equal treatment. After the march led by Lira Police Brass Band, they all settled down to listen to the day's messages. Seated on her bicycle is Evelyn Adongo, who rode over 2 kilometers to witness an event she has never attended.
Always we heard from the radio that there is a celebration on Women's Day celebration in Kampala, in Mokono, but today they have brought us here in a Itek sub-county, a rural place. Even a whole woman is able to go there. Even a small kid like this can able to go there. Even disability. Then I am very happy about it.
Pupils in their different places continue to plead for support to help them excel in sciences. Women appeal to the woman MP, the organizer of the event, to advocate for the rejection of homosexuality.
We were created, women and men, to have sex in only one place.
In her submission, the woman member of Parliament, Agnes Linda Wuma, appealed to the women to submit to their husbands to scale down domestic violence. North Kyoga registered 1,814 cases of domestic violence and was ranked number 2 in the recent crime report.
Because of that biasness given to us. But why is it that there's no reduction in gender-based violence? And I encourage my women to be submissive, as God has said, to be humble. But this issue of anything a man slaps you, you take to police, you'll be the one that will go and farm alone. You'll raise your children alone. That man will never love you. He will just accept to come home to fear the law, but in his heart he will not be with you. The women activists, let us give our women the right information about gender equality so that we don't destroy homes because of our rights. These rights came to help the women, but not to destroy the women.
Meanwhile, Lerute County legislator Jonathan Odur warned mothers against abusing trust accorded to them. He cited the recent Karamoja Hayon sheets in which many women got implicated.
Recently we have seen high-profile women who have been entrusted with responsibility being involved in scandals, stealing iron sheets, stealing goats. This is not the kind of women that we are nurturing for the future.
Eddie Olwa, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Eddie, for that beautiful story. In more news, Organization of Humanity, a non-government organization, has distributed seedlings to farmers in Busoga region to help farmers come out with better yields. Now, the organization focuses to build boreholes, educating the needy, among others.
Organization for Humanity is building an orphanage center in Kabarole district to help the underprivileged persons in Kabarole. This has been accompanied with giving out seedlings to farmers in Busoga region in the districts of Buyende, Kamuli and Luka.
Ekigubirwa kyayo bekigendera kyayo ekisookera ddala n'okubona nti etuuka ku bantu abo abasembera ddala okuba abali wansi. Tuna programs ediweraku nga 8 nga olwaleero tubaire mu program ya food security wetusobozesa okugaba ensigo duma n'amaido ensigo edo enongooseemu ng'ekigendererwa kyakusitula ku mutindo gw'ebintu ebirimibwa.
The sub-counties that benefited Ankondo sub-county, Buyanja Chidera, Chisozi, Luka, Bunanga Town Council and Bulanga Town Council.
Muva kugaba ensigo mu region ye Budyope nga mvunaanizibwa okusomesa n'okugaba ensigo ey'omulembe oba embuzi oba ebigogo nga bya mulembe ebisobola okuboneka nti abantu bange baba bisimbye basobola okuvaayo mu mbeera eyo.
I thank the organization called Humanity First for what they have done today. They have given us seeds plus the insecticides, so that one is going to help to improve on our agriculture output, because all along we have been lacking good quality seeds, and sometimes the insecticide that we have been using, it has not been so effective. But this time we pray very hard that the insecticides which we have got, including the seeds, are going to do us good. So we thank Humanity First for what they have done for us, and we thank God that everything goes on well.
They gave out a variety of seedlings for farmers to identify the best crops to be grown in their region.
Jerry con! Jerry con! Hey, Master Blaster! Touch him, man! Buy Jerry con with muscle! Those ones who say go for you only. Mundava! Best group is I teach you. When I go to the Muscari, because of the cover that is very far. Is you serious? Is serious you? What? Yeah? You step it on it. Add kilometers to your legs and you get your sugar. We buy meat from Umaru, and Umaru refused to give you enough meat. Mama! Show him that they don't joke with you.
Okukakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako, n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga. Awamu teri kitulema.
The Uganda Water and Environment Week is back. Join us as we deliver value internally and externally by promoting a multinational integrated approach that links all sectors of water and environment, and also explore and deliberate on the water and environment resources to climate resilience. The week commemorates 3 sector days of World Water Day, World Forestry Day, and World Meteorological Day. The Uganda Water and Environment Week will take place from 12th to 17th March 2023 at the Ministry of Water and Environment headquarters in Luzira, under the theme Water and Environment for Climate Resilient Development.
Uganda Water and Environment Week is organized by Ministry of Water and Environment through the Water Resources Institute with support from development partners.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
This is our family's pride.
This is my friend.
This is the future of our nation.
She is the future of Uganda, and the policies I enact today will protect her from teenage pregnancy.
She is the hope of our community, and I will talk to others about how we must protect her.
She is our family's pride, and I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Their support meant so much to me. I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sawuti 116.
Paying your bills the old way.
Let's go. Just need to buy some power.
Paying your bills with the My Airtel app.
Bro, there's a line.
You have the power in your pocket. The power to instantly pay your bills hassle-free. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
Oh, you're back.
Thank you so much for still watching UBC TV, and we'll come back from that short commercial break as we continue our business stories. The Minister for Kampala Affairs, Hajat Minsa Kabanda, has lauded Private Sector Foundation Uganda for uplifting women through creating market for their businesses and job opportunities for them. Now, this was during the opening ceremony of the Women's Day, Katali, organized by Private Sector Foundation Uganda at Lugogo Uganda Manufacturers Association Showgrounds at Lugogo. Over 300 women showcased their products and business plans during the two-day show. Take a look.
The Minister for Kampala, Hajat Minsa Kabanda, has pledged to create a favorable working environment for women and urged stakeholders to work towards creating equal opportunities for women. This was during the opening ceremony of the Women's Day Katale, organized by PSFU at Lugogo Wuma Grounds, where over 300 women showcased their products and business plans.
Enough for us that women owning business is enough to portray women empowerment in the economic field. The question that should be explored is how women-owned business can grow from subsistence to industrial, sustainable, more profitable businesses. This is where initiatives like this Katale comes in, and I'm so grateful for this.
Kabanda commended Private Sector Foundation Uganda for uplifting women through creating them markets and job opportunities.
I'd like to thank Private Sector Foundation Uganda and MasterCard Foundation for organizing this event and applaud their continued support in promoting gender equality. Let us use this catalyst as an opportunity to reflect on how we can all contribute to cracking the code of gender equality through innovation and technology. Let us work together to ensure that women and girls have equal access to technology and digital skills, and that innovation and technology are designed to promote gender equality.
The Vice Chairperson, Private Sector Foundation Uganda, Sharon Kyomugisha, said they had availed over 500 job opportunities for the youth, adding that women's businesses are still small.
We have also ensured, again in partnership with Mastercard Foundation, that 250 small and medium enterprises earn certification by UNBS, because you know regional markets require that standards are followed.
Kajingo urged women to uplift each other.
Uganda has made several advancements in ensuring gender mainstreaming, in ensuring that women are promoted in leadership, that indeed you partner with the Private Sector Foundation to promote these women.
Gender inclusion is an important issue in the technology space in Uganda, as it is in many other countries. Although women are underrepresented in the technology sector in Uganda, there are efforts underway to increase their participation. Under the theme Digital Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality, UN Women and other stakeholders have recognized that a gender-responsive approach to innovation, technology and digital education can increase the awareness of women and girls regarding their rights and civic engagement. Details follow.
One way that gender inclusion is being addressed is through education and training programs. There are a number of initiatives aimed at encouraging girls and young women to pursue careers in technology. These programs provide training in areas such as coding, web design, and other tech-related fields.
As UN Women, we have prioritized this expanded access to technology across our programs, including climate-resilient agriculture.
There is also a growing recognition among tech companies in Uganda that diversity and inclusion are critical to their success. Many companies are working to create more inclusive workplaces and to actively recruit and promote women in tech roles.
With over 11 million mobile money subscribers and over 165,000 agents, a significant of these are either owned or operated by women, which has enabled them to be able to access financial services, improve their livelihoods, and participate in the growth of the economy.
Lack of access to technology, limited education, gender biases, and lack of role models are some of the challenges affecting the adoption of African women in technology.
Women, we know you invest in different aspects, but I think there is room to look at a new investment channel, a new asset class. There are a lot of opportunities within the capital markets. There are businesses that are making a lot of money. We have some of the biggest businesses in the country, biggest taxpayers, biggest employers, and these companies are run well with very good leadership from the director level all the way.
While there is still much work to be done to achieve gender equality in the technology space of Uganda, there are some promising signs that progress is being made. With continued efforts to promote gender diversity and inclusion, it is likely that the tech sector in Uganda will become a more equitable and inclusive industry. Wadulo McArnold, Kagoro Joshua, UBC News in Kampala.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
We're still watching UBC News Tonight, and lastly, before we sign out in our last segment, in our sports stories, the Senior Presidential Advisor on Special Operations, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, has pledged to champion the construction of a world-standard boxing arena to facilitate the boxing game in the country. This was contained in a message read on his behalf by Balam Barugahara during the Superlight Welterweight Boxing Championship at Club Obligato last night, where Uganda's Latibu Muwonge edged Tanzanian Albano Clement.
The boxing family gathered at Club Obligato in Kampala to have a glimpse of the Africa Boxing Union elimination fight. The biggest game of the night was between Ugandan Latibu Muwonge and Tanzanian Albano Clement. The two were competing under the African Superlight Welterweight category. At the end of the day, victory was on the Ugandan side.
So next time njakola bulungi okusinako wano. Nefe tuli bawanguzi Uganda mukimanyi. Nobody say.
Mukisa munene nnyo era ssanyu lingi okubeera nga Latibu Muwonge asobodde kikola omusipi n'aguwangula. Era kino kigenda tuteeka mu world ranking ezo z'olabamu ba Mayweather baani mu WBC. Kati guno gwe musipi ye line gye tukutte ya World Boxing Council. Katwebaza nnyo General Muhoozi Kainerugaba asobodde okuvaayo n'agamba ajja kutambula ne big strikers n'abalwanyi baffe agambye n'okwetuzimbira ekisaawe. Era tumwebaza kubanga atuwaddeyo ffe ng'abategesi n'atuwayo ebbaasa then n'abalwanyi bonna n'abagulira gloves.
The event was graced by a section of dignitaries, including a delegation representing the Senior Presidential Advisor on Special Operations, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba.
Ebikonde n'abakulisa bonna abeetabye mu bikonde abawangudde emidaali n'abagamba nti agenda kugoberera nnyo okulaba nti ekisaawe kizimbibwa mu bwangu, abaana b'ebikonde basobola okuzanyira, sobola n'okubeera n'ebikonde by'ensi yonna. Ayagala ebeere nga mu Uganda, agulidde buli muzanyi peya ya glove basobola okweyongera okutraininga n'okuwangula emidaali. Abasuubiza nti ebikonde binaddako ajja kujja.
Robert Anyango, UBC News.
Well, thank you so much, Robert Anyango. In more sports stories, the Uganda Archery Federation is blessed by the visit of World Archery Federation Education Officer Khalid Sofiane Lamande. Lamande is here to enable Uganda to benefit from the Olympic Solidarity's Development of National Sports Systems Grant. Take a look.
The Uganda Archery Federation has set itself out on a 3-mission project aimed at reviewing the strategic plan, constitution and governance structures, training coaches and judges, as well as consolidating and starting up partnerships with various institutions. During the first mission, World Archery International expert Khalid Sofiane Lamande will facilitate various programs like the review of the strategic plan, constitution and governance structures, and the development of action plans.
So this alone is the first mission, and we'll have 2 other missions coming in. The second mission, which will involve the coaches training as well as the judges training. And then the final mission will be more of like an evaluation mission to see if we've been able to achieve what we've set ourselves to do.
He will also visit various stakeholders and possible partners like Uganda Prisons and Police and the Uganda People's Defense Air Forces, which has been his latest stop.
Certain sports require certain equipment. Modern pentathlon, you know, requires quite some equipment like the laser gun, like horse has been removed, but still fencing. So fencing, you need equipment for fencing and so on. In this case, are you the one buying the equipment for the pentathlons, or how does it work?
Now for the pentathlon, it's the federation that provides the equipment.
He has also held meetings with Uganda Olympic Committee, Association of Uganda University Sports, Uganda Secondary School Sports Association, and Uganda Paralympic Committee, among others.
Ndoza amasomero nago gayinza okufunamu okwetaagisa okulaba nti nago babulese amasomero. Kati obugutandika awo tutegeeza nabwo gujja kula mu Uganda muno. Uganda yetandika okulibwa nti ezanya guno omuzannyo gw'okuba akasaale.
Uganda Archery Federation received the development of National Sports Systems grant from the Olympic Solidarity, and it's aimed at enabling national Olympic committees to develop and strengthen their basic coaching structures and related sports systems by putting in place a medium or long-term action plan for a specific sport on the Olympic program. The previous sport to receive this grant in Uganda was handball prior to the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown. John Barnes, Sentamu, UBC News.
Now, the youth in Ishaka-Bushenyi municipality have been advised to embrace sports as a serious money-making venture. This was by the council, Marvin Bariaruha, I beg your pardon, who promised an enabling environment to the youth to achieve and started by donating equipment like balls.
To what many believe, sport is more than a leisure activity that in other countries is a big direct and indirect employer. This has been reiterated to the youth of Ishaka-Bushenyi municipality by Council Marvin Bariaruha, who through his Bariaruha Foundation intends to start an exemplary football club in Bushenyi, Ishaka municipality.
So we want to scout talent, and you will find some of our people even playing in our national league, or maybe in Africa and East Africa. The Arsenals can come later. The last item, the last aim of ours is to have a super club in the municipality. The Bariaruha Foundation is going to sponsor a super club in the municipality, but before we do that, we need to know what is on the ground.
Bariaruha has started with a donation of 45 balls to each village football team and advised the youth to embrace sport for a professional career.
As you know, the youth are an integral part of any society. We want to know, to have more information about the various teams in the municipality. That's why I was looking at village level to see whether each village, the 78 villages in the municipality, each have teams. That was the basis of our calling this gentleman and lady. The third thing is that we want to scout talent. You know, we have a lot of talented people in the villages there.
As if to remind locals that sport and education belong to the same ministry, Bariaruha met several teachers and donated textbooks to support teaching and learning in the municipality.
Well, that brings us to the end of UBC News Tonight today on the 11th of March 2023. Ms. Sharon Kyomugisha, thank you so much for watching for the past 1 hour. Have a lovely night. God bless you. Make sure you go to church on Sunday if you're Christian, and just keep flourishing and be blessed. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Hi guys, so got Tasha Michi, the party princess, the magic one princess. All authorities are on me. Yeah, today is a Saturday. Party after party, vibes on vibes. You already know, I'm designed by Bash, Garilaya, William Sutton, number 522. It's not your usual party. Today we are spicing it up. I'm your girl Tasha Michi. I have MC Fanta, I have MC Tyler, I have DJ Santos. DJ Santos, are you ready? We go. Cover party. Yeah, yeah.
Mash up the place and shell down the bar. Viper ranking, no winning watch. Hear me now.
Me want a boy with the wickedest style. But innocent and got a time my job. I know pull up on the top where fast if you got the money, I'ma call you daddy.
One Jesus.
Na kona meti bile mutawana. Uli wani tabasanja batawana. Anti gal atana nesana.
Hey.
Oh no ever mamu party mazina zina that thing and you me rasi bend over. I know me some balance in our water but chali why you want to so
party time, what you want? Lady.
You want a girl with a big bump.